Okie dokie, boys and girls. So, sometimes the easiest training is not the easiest, and the hardest training is not the hardest. And what I mean by that is, well, if you love training hard, you love going all out and just leaving it, spending your energy, it's easy to train hard, right? And vice versa as well. If you love doing those hard trainings, it's quite difficult to spend your time on the easy stuff, right? The easy stuff, the stretching, the tedious things, the accessories, right? The things that will keep you going, to keep your body healthy. And I'm no different. I like training hard, but those stretching things, foam rolling, whatever, right? I don't do them very often. And that's why I think those are the hardest trainings there. And for me today, if I just listen to my impulses, I would want to train hard, right? I have a pull day today and I would just train for lever. But in my mind, I know I have been training the front lever very hard in the last couple of weeks. I've been getting stronger, but I also have very sore lats. It's getting better now because I completely stopped doing grease the groove for the last 2 days, but still, I'm not fully recovered yet. So, if I listen to my impulses, I'm quite recovered. I can train again. I can perhaps even perform quite well. But if I listen to my mind, I'm gonna take a gamble, let my body completely recover, and in a couple days do a 45-second phone lever attempt. That's what I aim for. And in those situations, the hardest thing is to listen to your mind, right? To not just go out there and do whatever the fuck you want, like a mad dog, like no mind, just reacting to impulses basically. The hardest things is perhaps to go easy basically, right? To do the stretching, the long and boring stuff, to go out there and spend your time on recovery. So what I will do today is instead of doing front lever, instead of doing any back training, I will take my timer, I will set it to 1 hour, and the challenge is just gonna be to do fucking stretch upon stretch until the hour passes. And I'm not even gonna look at the time. I just wanna focus, right? Because this training is hard. I don't wanna be like, stretching, boring. Oh, 2 minutes have passed. Yes, let's do another one. No, I wanna be focused and just you know give take this hour that I've given myself and do as much as possible. It's kind of like the weather. I hate hot weather, but if I change my mindset and I take it as a challenge, it becomes fun. It becomes fun to go out there and train in the sun. It becomes fun to resist the heat of 32 degrees Celsius. In the same way, right? Usually look upon those stretch trainings and think, oh, fucking, that's fucking bullshit. I don't want to do it. But if you switch your mindset, right, because it is bullshit, right? Because you don't want to do it, you can take it up as a challenge. You can take it up as the 32 degrees Celsius weather and take it as a challenge, right? And just go for it and get the most out of it. Tell yourself, you can handle it. Do a big fucking, fuck you, whatever, right? To the universe or to your voice in your head that's telling you not to do it, to just go all out, right? And overcome the challenge because even though the intensity is not there in stretching, I'm just gonna do light stretching to get a healthy body, right? There is no intensity, but that doesn't mean it's not hard because intensity is not the only hard part about training. If that was the case, well then, anime training would get you jacked stacked as fuck, even if you're overtraining like shit. But that doesn't happen. So there's lots of aspects to training and doing these tedious things, having the patience to do it, even if it's only once in a while. I don't do it enough. I only do it once in a while. Even then, it's still better than nothing. In an ideal situation, you would fucking stretch multiple times a week, I guess. But hey, we can't strive for perfection from the first time, right? Or from the first day. So let's just start with 1 hour here today. I'm gonna do some accessories for planche afterwards, which I won't show the stretching, but I will show the accessories for the planche because they've been preventing injury for me for the past almost a year, I guess, which is fucking huge, because I used to get injured multiple times a year. And since the channel is growing slowly, I figure there's always someone who hasn't seen the accessory exercise yet. Most of you have, but anyway, I'm just gonna include it in the video. So yeah, I'll skip the stretching, switch to that, and perhaps I'll share some impressions of today's workout as well after that. For now, 1 hour of stretching, bathing in the sun. I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so that is one boring hour of stretching gone. But don't get me wrong, it was effective. Like, the soreness in my lats, for now at least, it's completely gone. Going into this workout, I was still feeling my lats a little bit. I have been sore for 3 days, which is a lot for a movement you're used to. But now it seems to be cleared up, so definitely effective. And don't get me wrong, I say that this is boring, but at the same time, it's very rewarding, because, well, effort is rewarding. And of course, training, going hard takes effort as well. But doing something you don't like, knowing that it will result in something good, knowing that it will benefit you, that's also very rewarding. So, yes, I hated every single second of stretching. But still, even while doing it, the fact that I knew it was gonna result in something kind of made me want to continue. So, in a sense, still very happy that I trained, right? The training itself maybe wasn't less fun, but of course I'm very satisfied that I did it. But the training is not over yet. Part number two is going to be forearm accessories. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, I do some forearm accessories to prevent myself from getting injured in the planche, namely the forearm itself and the bicep. So, I get this question quite often from new people on the channel, and basically, I use one exercise to prevent myself from getting injured, and it's this front side of the arm basically that you're gonna get stronger. So I'm gonna demonstrate it with a P-bar. I'm using a dumbbell, but I don't want to use my working weight as a demonstration because then I'm gonna get tired before the set. But basically, imagine this is like a small bar for a dumbbell. I put all the weight on one side, and then basically I put my one arm on the other, and I pull it up. Right, I pull my thumb towards my shoulder, towards my elbow, the front side here, and I pull it up. And this is gonna activate all of these muscles in the front, which when you're in the planche, you're basically pushing up against the bar, you're gonna feel these muscles. If you push one arm in like against the other like this, you're gonna see your bicep, your forearms all tensing up because there's so much load on them, right? And it's easy to get stronger shoulders and planche by doing, biceps by doing the planche, right? But those smaller muscles, they tend to lag behind. So by bulletproofing them, you'll make sure that they never get injured because they're strong enough to handle the load. They're never going to be too weak. So that's why I do this exercise. And basically, I think for the past couple months, I haven't really done anything else. Like this exercise alone has just helped me so much. I don't need anything else. The most important part here is that you're aiming for a PR. So when I started out, I was aiming for 3 sets, 30 reps, so high reps, right? Because I was so weak in the beginning, I could only do 1 kilo, and it was basically hurting me. So I was aiming for a lot of reps that I got a burn, and it didn't hurt me too much. And then once I got adapted to the movement, I upped the weight. Now I'm up to 5 kilos, but also I'm having a bigger lever, so the exercise is way more difficult. And I'm aiming, to get 20 reps for 2 sets. And then when I get that, I up the weight with another kilo, and basically I go again until I get 2 sets of 20 reps. So now I have 5 kilos. My PR is 17 reps. I hope I can get 20 today. Let's see what happens. All right, that's 20. All right, that's 20 reps done. I'm gonna rest up for a minute and try to do another set. I doubt I will get 20 reps, but of course I'm gonna try. Getting PRs is the most important part, not only for your main exercises, but also for your accessories, especially for your accessories, right? Because your accessories are the exercises that are gonna target your weak areas. Those are gonna prevent you from getting injured. So by keeping like keeping them strong, right? By getting PRs, you are ensuring that they are strong enough not to get injured. You are ensuring that your body is getting bulletproof because getting PRs on an exercise equals getting stronger at that exercise, right? So when you are hitting PRs, aiming for PRs on those exercises, you're gonna always be strong enough for your main exercises too. And yeah, that's it. One more set, let's go. Alrighty, that's it for the easy training, but boy, was it hard because this is not one of those trainings that I am automatically super excited to do, you know? Most of the times when I have a push day, like yesterday, or I have a leg day and I'm about to squat some heavy weight, that's easy. I get out of bed, I go for my run, I'm excited to do it. But this one, it's 4 fucking p.m. I have been putting this one off for quite a while. I had the opportunity to do it earlier, but I was just sitting there in the couch like, oh, am I really gonna stretch 1 fucking hour dead like on end, right? It's not something I want to do, but I did it anyway, and I'm fucking happy that it's over. I'm fucking happy that I did it because, no matter what happens now, right? No matter what happens when in a couple days I'm gonna try the full lever max attempt, right? I'm not gonna have any questions in my head of, should I have done something more? Should I have recovered more, right? It's not gonna pop up in my head. I'm gonna, no matter what happens, I did what I could. I trained hard, I recovered hard, and then I went for it. And that's all there's to it. Well, if, let's say I just took a rest day today, right? I did nothing. I just, hung in the couch, got sluggish, and didn't achieve anything, right? One, I would have, gone out of the loop, right? I would have lost my momentum. I wouldn't have done anything and I wouldn't have spent time thinking about training, right? I wouldn't have time, like, or spend time getting excited about the training and thinking about the training and just having all of that excitement pent up. Well, now, of course, the training itself wasn't very exciting to me, but during the training, I was thinking, oh shit, I'm about to try a front lever in a couple days. That's very exciting, and it's channeling those emotions that's gonna help me in a couple days when I try to front lever. And you know what I just want to say here is right when you're trying to achieve something, when you're trying to achieve a training goal, or you're trying to achieve good results in your exams, your studies, your job, whatever, right? When it comes down to it, when you have your big moment and you're there, right? You don't want to be asking yourself if you did enough. When you fail, whether you fail or you succeed, you don't want to look backwards and or like look in the past and think to yourself, oh shit, I could have done better, I could have done more, right? Maybe even if you succeed, right? Maybe you could have done better, and you're thinking to yourself, ah shit, what could I really have done, if I tried? And if you skip the hard part, the trainings you don't want to do, if you tell yourself too quickly that there's nothing you have to do today, right? Those moments are going to come. You're going to get to a point where, you fail or you succeed, but mostly when you fail, right? That you're going to ask yourself, like, holy fucking shit, could I have avoided this, right? And if that moment, right? In that moment, if you're able, to truly tell yourself, nope, it just wasn't there, you tried everything, but it wasn't there, then you're not gonna regret trying. You're not gonna regret failing. You're not gonna regret anything because you did what you could. And the only way that you're gonna be able to truly tell yourself that you did your fucking best is when you at every moment in the way leading up to that special moment you have, right? You rationally think to yourself like, okay, what the fuck do I have to do? And with the best knowledge you have, you decide, okay, I'm gonna do this. You try to make the best choices and you execute them. And if you do that, there is gonna be no fucking regret no matter the outcome. And that's why these sessions, the sessions you don't want to do, the things you don't want to do, even right, if it's very easy, not intense, that's why they are so very worth it in the end. Because those are the sessions that you're gonna think of like, I might have failed, but I gave it my all. Even those fucking boring sessions, even those boring workouts, those boring study sessions, I did them all, right? And if you're able to tell yourself that, well, then you'll be happy with yourself. And that's it for today's training. Tomorrow is gonna be leg day. I'm gonna keep it light, but nonetheless, get a good pump. Some higher reps will be, I think, of good use, especially after failing that. Well, not really failing a one rep max, but just after failing last session. So yeah, all I have to do right now is build a base, and it's the same thing as the stretching. Building a base is not as exciting as doing a one rep max, but it's building the base that will get me to the one rep max in the first place. So I just have to execute, and yeah, that's all there's to it. I'm gonna have a shower, then have dinner, and then I'll see you tomorrow.